Yeah, that's right. I know your ass. And I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep cooking the way I want. Said you wanted to cook, didn't you? Cook that nigga! Anybody want to make some money, do shit the right way, then please, by all means, stay. But if not, get the fuck out!
All right, man. You getting DP?
Just get the fuck out.
You motherfuckers.
All right. Now what?
Ever cooked before?
You serious?
I want to work.
All right.
Oh, it's your boy Lil Peso from Memphis, Tennessee. Go tap in with my people. Let's Yap About It podcast. It's a problem case.
So I need to see everyone who has pre-saved the project. That should be everyone in here. Hold your phone up so I know you.
Y'all know what it is. It's the biggest Fuego Base. I'm with Let's Yap About It podcast, and we ain't a podcast. We a problem cast. You know what I'm saying?
Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Yap About It podcast. Starring Raw Bass. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Let go. We in the mix. Fit Too Savage. Let's Yap About It. Had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living. How the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes keep dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping. Out of game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, shit, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me. Cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going. I fuck you up, no apologies. Fit Too Savage. Savage like music.
Back, we are back, we are back, we are back. You know what I'm saying? We back, baby. We are back. Oh yeah. Listen. We back for another impromptu episode. Listen, I think that the narrative is changing. I think a lot of people are opening up. A lot of people are healing, and I believe that this Sunday conversation is another very special one. And the reason being is because, like I say, we going from hurt to healing, and we on the road to redemption. And I'm talking about in our culture, we're trying to move in a positive direction. But without further ado, I definitely want to introduce. Listen, welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's broadcast. Please share and also hit that like button to let us know we appreciate you for tuning in. Now, in this conversation that we're going to have tonight is going to be concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain and entertain, and most of all, explain in detail about exactly what we yapping about. So, definitely want to give y'all some love and a shout out tonight. But before we begin, I want to say this. The story we're about to share is one of immense courage. It's a story of survival, resilience, and most of all, a long journey from darkness into light. Today, I have the honor of sitting down with a woman who has been brave enough to share her experiences of surviving through years of trials and tribulations. Also, you're going to hear her voice, her story, and her strength, and all on her own. She's going to bring it to the table. But before we begin, we want to do this. We want to give a content warning. The conversations that we're going to have about these things are going to be very descriptive, which may be difficult for some people to hear. Our purpose in sharing the story is not to sensationalize trauma or anything like that, but to shine a light on the hidden realities of what could go on in people's lives that we don't talk about. This here is to educate on the warning signs and to offer a message and hope to anybody that's going through this. Man, definitely this is the platform to basically drop your questions, share, and do all those type of things that are beneficial to our culture, period. But if you'll do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and share if you care. We want to make this YouTube channel one of the best in the media today. But without further ado, I definitely want to bring up my special guest, Aaliyah. I definitely got to give her a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Definitely across the board. She is a tremendous person, in light and in depth about everything. Let me put her on the screen. Definitely, Aaliyah, please let the folks know who you are and what your handle is, especially when it comes to Instagram.
Peace and light. My name is Aaliyah. My Instagram is Leah, underscore Leah, Aaliyah underscore. I am into birthing services, so doula, and healing massage therapy.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to thank you for joining me tonight. But we had talked and we had some conversations briefly. And I know accidentally started this series from hurt to healing, and basically people getting their message out, because I tell you, everybody comes from a different walk of life of going through emotional things, from female to male. Now, the males aren't on the forefront that close to be I think the males aren't open to share enough, but I think in due time, we're going to get a lot of people to come in and be able to share their words. Now, I want to get straight into it. Definitely. I want to thank you for being here, and especially your bravery. And if you're comfortable, I'd like to start at the beginning. When you were going through those trials and tribulations, especially with your significant other, what were those early days like?
So, early days were like everything is so good at first. When you're with the person, it's like honeymoon stage, and you don't really know each other. So, you just love, I feel like you love and like everything about a person when you first meet them. And that can quickly change into something very dark. Um, and it will make you question your worth and yourself, and it causes a lot of mental health things. And I feel like between emotional and physical abuse, both of those things that have, happened in my life, it it forces you to want to heal. That's what I want to say. Because who wants to feel like that all the time, honestly? Who wants to feel like that? Um I want to say healing is a process and it takes time, and no one can tell you when to heal and how long it's going to take. Um, But it does take a community to heal, though. You know, um, I, gosh, I didn't have some good experiences. I don't look like my experiences. I didn't have some good experiences, though. Um, my last experience was terrible. He was abusive, physically and emotionally. And I felt I was in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? I was in a dark place and I felt suicidal at times, honestly, because I didn't understand the dynamic as far as you loving a person and they are able to hurt you like that. You know what I'm saying? In both ways, physically and mentally. Um, yeah, it's
I think one of the things in 2026 is the question that we ask is why, especially when we're pouring our hearts, our time, our energy, most of all, even finances, um,
mhm,
and just our altruism being genuine and pure. I think a lot of times there are people that look for individuals like yourself. I think they seek out a person that has that certain ability that they know is endless love, endless care, endless, endless checking on people, just making sure that they're good mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You got a lot of people out there that seek that and they want to control it, and then they don't understand the value in it. So they then tend to have this moment to where they start sabotaging it. You know what I'm saying? I
mhm,
see a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters that be in a lot of good situations and they tend to sabotage it for whatever reason, past traumas, PTSD, and the list
mhm,
goes on. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a huge intricate part in that. But I want to ask you this.
mhm.
It sounds like in most of your experiences, you told me, especially that main one, it was like it was systematically taking apart your independence. Can you talk about like how emotional and mental control started to escalate into something more?
Um, because I'm a person that is very outgoing and I'm very friendly. Um, it was started with little things as in like, why you gotta say hey to everybody? You know? And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So let me try to say hey less. The next thing is just isolating me from people. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take up your time. Um, it was complaining about what I was wearing, like, why are you wearing that? You look like you're advertising yourself. I wasn't used to those things. And I feel like people do that to you because they want to, it's a form of control, but they want to minimize how you feel, basically, um, so that they can have more control. And it just led to, like you said, so many other things, like from complaining to how I dressed, talking to me a certain kind of way, um just so very controlling. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, honestly. I really wouldn't, because if you're a person that's very free spirited, it makes you feel caged in, and then it makes you shut down.
I think that's a truth. I think people should be able to go their own way. I think things that can be discussed in relationships can be talked about. You know what I mean? You got your standards and your expectations, and to make sure that they meet. But I think a lot of times with people who have, and I explained this on the last episode, sociopathic tendencies, they like to chip away. They want to see exactly what starting point they can get with you and then also be able to manipulate you at the same time to even make you feel guilty about you being who you are. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Hmm.
that
That's
plays a
very
huge
true.
that
Yeah,
plays
no,
a huge
that's
part.
very true. I think most people, well, my last situation, I don't think he's experienced the type of love that I had. Never saying that he never met a good person. You know what I mean? Like, um, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know the other women. I know some of them had tried to reach out, but I don't really do that, with the back and forth. That's not my personality. But I think that people never experienced a certain type of love before, and they're stuck in survival mode. And when you're stuck in survival mode, that causes you to do things that you feel you need to do to survive, however that is. You know what I mean? At any cost. And I feel like he was just, that's where he's stuck at. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck in survival mode. He's not used to being around people that are really authentic. So it's like there's always a guard up with that person. You know what I mean? And then that's their excuse of why they do certain things to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely. Now I gotta ask this: was there a time that the flaws that he's seen in everybody they were in himself, and
oh
he just
yeah.
failed to see them?
Oh yeah.
Tell me
I
about those
feel like
experiences.
the stem of it would be like, so let me tell you this. Okay, so I'm used to dating like dope boys, and I changed, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this was a better situation for me. Like the background was good, like military family, dad is a pastor. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, yeah, I hit it, right? Great. No, I didn't. I didn't.
I can, I can definitely say that they those that come from that type of background, yeah, they have a structure and discipline, but they also use it to their advantage to other people too. And what
I
I'm
believe
saying,
that. But
oh
see, I
man,
never experienced that. It was a new
mhm,
experience for me too. You know what I mean? Like, so I just felt like I was secure with that, like with the back. And he was in the military too. You know what I mean? He was in the
mhm.
military. He got out of the military, started, he did his barber thing. So I felt like, oh, okay, cool. This is going to be good. But it was the worst. It was terrible. Like I said, it was terrible. Like seriously, I had to get therapy. I'm still going to therapy. I advise people to do that. I think that therapy is important for um like, your mental health. Um
Absolutely.
we have a stereotype that people think because we're black, we shouldn't go to therapy. I've heard it plenty of times, and that's not true. I would advise 100% if you feel like you question your worth, if you don't want to be here, if you feel lost, if you feel anxious, any of those, think you should get therapy. I do. I honestly.
And I'm gonna say this: I do believe that in the family, you could have things like paranoia, schizophrenic, things
Mhm.
that you wouldn't have never known that were in your bloodline, where it may have missed a couple of people. It can come up in the later parts of your life, and you don't know it. And I've had this discussion with my moms and father. We have had people in our family that was that way, and I think if people learn to embrace that, and what I'm saying is the reality of it, I think
Mhm.
it makes it a lot more easier for people to understand. I also want to send a special shout out to Lil CME, you know what I'm saying, on the check-in. He's definitely opening up, talking about some things. Me and him are gonna have one-on-one conversation too. See, you're bringing in people. See how this leads to other people opening up, talking and having dialogue. So, you know what I'm saying, definitely progress. Now, I want to say this: one of those things that you just talked about was what you call, and I want to introduce the term, which was with a blind spot bias, the tendency to recognize cognitive biases in others while failing to see them in yourself. I guarantee he was up and down like a roller coaster, was he
Uh,
not?
yeah. I mean, just so hot and cold,
Mhm,
like I like what I want okay, so at the beginning, the first couple months, everything was good, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then when you see that side of a person that you're not used to seeing, like, oh, okay, you can get mean, right? You can get real mean too, not just a little, like you can get really mean, like really nasty with your words and everything. Aggressive, pull on me a little bit, tug. That's how it started. And it's like, oh, I was just having a bad day. That will never happen again. And it's like, boom. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when people show you who they are, you need to believe them the first time. It doesn't need to take 100 times. It doesn't need to take 1,000 times. It shouldn't take 25 times. But, you hold on to your idea of what could be. if you're a good person, I feel like you hold on to your fantasy and you know what you would do and how you conduct. So you want to believe that someone else is going to do the same thing. But that doesn't mean that at
But I
all.
want I want to ask you something you said about those ups and down roller coasters. That first explosion, was it verbally or was it physical or was it both of them?
It
Tell us
was
about that.
both. It was both because long story short, it was about a situation with his son at the park, and the kid, his son is tall, and the kid hit him, and he thought he was the same age. And I called him and told him like, yeah, this kid hit your son at the park. You know, what do you want me to do? The mom's here. They're saying they didn't know he was a couple years younger, but his son had hit him back. And he was light, so he had a little mark, which ended up going away like in an hour. But he said, call the police. So I did. So I called the police. They came and they basically said, hey, they're kids. They're only a couple years apart. We can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So he was upset. So we went and ate dinner later and we're talking how me and you are just fine. And he turns around and he says, what the fuck were you thinking? And I'm like, because I'm like, I'm just thrown off. Like, we were laughing. I thought we're sitting outside, we're chilling. I'm like, okay, where did this come from? Yeah, he wasn't paying attention. Anything could have happened to my son. This is how you conduct with children? Do you really care about me? Where was you at? And it was like, okay, I was so thrown on because first of all, I was right there. Second of all, anybody that has children, you go to the park, you turn around for half a second, anything could happen. You know what I'm saying? They're kids. They were playing, they were exchanging words. I didn't really get to hear, but the other kid was offended because the little boy was messing with his sister. So in response, obviously what he did is he put his hands on him. You know what I'm saying? Which is he thought he was his age and he wasn't. But it was like you had just told me you were fine with, you know, the police was called, the outcome that had came, you like you did what I told you to do. Okay, cool. You weren't really cool with it though. You know what I'm saying? You waited and I was like obviously thrown out. So I was like, oh, okay. So we went to the room or whatever and sat down and I just try to because I kind of tune out when people want to argue with me.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, you're not listening to me. Turn around, boom. Okay, wait, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Now we're here. And so now I'm crying. Okay. Because I get emotional. So now I'm crying. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll never happen again. I was upset. You know, I'm a father. That's my son. You know, I had him since he was 4. His mom left, and I get all these other, you know what I'm saying, things from that. Okay, I'm trying to be understanding at this point. Okay.
That's what we call toxic dumping, right? When they want to dump all of their situations so that you can feel empathetic behind the impulsiveness of what they do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's just so much on my mind, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm
That.
saying? And it's just a ticking time bomb. You know what I'm saying? That explosion leads to other explosions, and it becomes continuous to the point where it's like this is not the person I met. Like
Right.
what is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I have a huge empathy now is because women have this nurturing factor of wanting to get into that, to understand it, to get past that, because it's not just a triumph for him, but it's a triumph for you because now you're having a moment to where you can bond. But those type of people that have those sociopathic tendencies, they tend to do this over and over, and it becomes
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yes. I that's so true because I he loved to fight and make up and that was so weird for me. You know what I mean? I never experienced that. Like I've had other relationships where, you know, you good for a while, you might get into it here and there. I never had that where a person is that's like you said, that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pick a fight with you about something and then we're gonna make up. You know what I'm saying? It's the physical aspect. Now I want to get physical. That's how I'm showing you that I love you. You know what I'm saying? That's my form of telling you that I love you. Um, that it was very different. Yeah. Mhm.
And for a person that is not used to that, that throws them off completely. So as they're thinking that you're into it, you're really not into it.
Right.
And it makes them more frustrated because they're like, well, this is what I do. This is me. This is, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't work. And I tell any young brother and young sister, because I've seen people go through that on the female side. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They, well, what do you mean you're gonna leave? What do you mean? Like this is me. But
Mhm.
however, that's not healthy. That's
Right.
not healthy because it wears down on you psychologically. Your
Mhm.
mental, you start to question as it becomes progressive. And it seems like you're more focused on that than the relationship. It seems like you're having more problems than you're actually trying to build something, to establish something, to be a forever, or you know what I'm saying, to get to the point
Right.
of the relationship get serious to marriage. You start seeing the red flags. So the
Mhm.
more they do it, the more you're getting a red flag and you're pumping your brakes. And it
Yeah.
becomes frustrating and it
Your
becomes
nervous system becomes shot.
there you go.
Your
It's
nervous system is now in survival mode,
there you go.
100%. Because it doesn't it's trying to figure out the dynamic of, because other people perceive love in different ways. So to that person, arguing with you is love. You get what I'm saying? But
Mhm,
for me, it's like that's not love. You know what I mean? Like that's it makes me shut down. And I honestly, gosh, like I said, it's so many things. Like it's the over excessive love bombing, as in I want to marry everybody. You know what I'm saying? I want to marry
mhm.
everybody. I want everybody to have my baby. You know what I'm saying? I want, I mean, it's terrible, but it's so true. Like it's so embarrassing. You're glad that you laugh at some of the things you experienced in your life, but you're glad that you'll never experience them again. We all have choices in life,
Mhm,
and you have to make a choice for yourself. Do I want to experience this again or not? You know what I'm saying? It could be with
mhm,
a different person or it could be with the same person, but like that, it was excessive. You know what I'm saying? There was so many messages and stuff with the same, I'm talking about damn near copy and paste the messages all the way across to everybody. And it's just a reality check for you as yourself, as in, this is not what I want at all. And this is not love. And my person would not do this to me. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Um, my last straw with that situation that traumatized me was him choking me when the girl was knocking on the door and he was trying to tell me it was the police for child support. First of all, the police announce themselves. They're gonna say it's the sheriff's department. They're not gonna knock like this. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen. And they're not coming at 8 o'clock at night. So uh it was at that point, so they're knocking. So I'm already knowing after so long, I'm like, that can't be the police. I'm like, okay, well, let me go outside. Let me see. Don't want me to go to the window. Okay. So pull me back like this with my hands. Now pulling back. I'm like, okay, are we joking here? Okay, now we're starting to fight. And now I want to go out the door. Can't go out the door. Pick me up like this. You know what I'm saying? Pull me back. And like I said, that was the last straw for me because when he had me in the wash machine, we're trying to fight. I'm tiny. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than me. He's like 6 foot, you know. Um, I'm fighting him, trying to get him off of me, him hitting me right here. I couldn't eat for over 2 weeks. He ruptured both of my eardrums because he like karate chopped me. And my ears were bleeding like on this side and that side. And when I looked at myself and everything, first of all, let's rewind. He wouldn't let me leave. So I had to stay there for 2 days with him in the house because he didn't want anybody to see me and he didn't want me to tell anybody. So at this point, it's extra love bombing. I love you so much. I'm sorry. I swear to God, it was the police. Okay, so why didn't you let me leave? So I had to wait and be nice to him for those 2 days so that I could get out of the house so I could even go to file the report. But yeah, I told him my ears were ringing. I couldn't really hear him. He said I was being dramatic. And come to find out, when I went to the emergency room, he did rupture both of my eardrums.
And
and messed up this side of my mouth. Like it was black and I couldn't even open or chew or do anything for over 2 weeks.
Let me ask you this, and this is in all the process of his kids being there?
No, the kids weren't there this time. My children were with my mom. His son, he switches sometime. The mom may get him periodically, and the other children that which he said he didn't have other children. I found out after court that he had other children. The other mysterious children are with the mothers. So yeah, it was terrible.
And he's a military?
He's military. Well, now he's a barber,
Okay.
but he was in the military. But that's what made me think if this was like such a good thing, because I'm from Arizona, I'm from Phoenix. I reside in North Carolina right now. It's a military town. So I'm thinking like, cool, I could a military guy. This is gonna be good. You said your dad was a pastor, you know what I'm saying? You come from a good background, like you're probably very spiritually aligned, you know what I'm saying, with God. Oh no.
You know, I can tell you this: if it's a pastor's child, it's a possibility that they could possibly be the worst of the worst.
So many people tell me that now. Where were you guys at before? I'm thinking I might be the preacher's son wife or something. I
Yeah.
thought it was about to be.
Nah, but like I say, and let me be clear about this for everybody that's listening. It don't have to just be a pastor's son. It could
Yeah.
be anybody. Anybody from a great background can end up being this type. You know what I'm saying? And then also outside influences and different things like that. What was his friends like? Did you ever be around any of his friends? I mean, what was that like?
No, I didn't. Honestly. When I first met him, I had my own suite and he worked at a barber shop. You know what I'm saying? At that time.
Mhm.
I never really seen him interact with a lot of friends, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that he worked with. But it was like outside of there, he wanted to be around me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he really didn't want to do anything else. That's why I was so shocked how he had so many women.
Hold on. Here we go. It's youth pastor Anthony says, Pastor kids are off the chain. I gotta give applause. Absolutely. I want to ask you this though. You said and I believe you. And the reason why I'm saying I believe you because I had an interesting conversation with a good friend of mine, and she's a female, and she had a guy that was love bombing. I'm talking about all on the phone all day. You know,
Yeah. I'm talking about shared location with you. It was so I did, and that's why I said I'm like, when does he have time? Like, people, it's like
she said the same thing.
when does he have time? Like, excuse my language, I called him a busy dick because I'm like, when do you have time? Like, this is crazy. Like, how are you and all these women, they all think they're in a serious relationship with him. I'm talking, not kidding. A girl told me 7 years, 10 years, 5 years. I'm like, how, when he's at my house every single day, every night I text I'm like, that's crazy that he even makes the time to be engaged to 5 other people. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like it's really happening out here. And I don't want to say it's just men though. You know what I'm saying? Women
Right,
are
right,
doing
right.
it too. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm just throwing shade at him because there's women that do it too. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the reality. I'm just speaking on my experience, but for me, it's you're risking so many things. You're risking your health, number one. You know what I'm saying? You're risking your life because another person might not be as kumbaya as me or somebody else. They might kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because of their feelings. I'm thinking I'm in a committed relationship with you and you're sleeping with all these people. You don't care about my life. Why do I care about yours? You know what I'm saying? Type of situation. I mean, it gets so deep. You know what I mean? So I, for me, I just feel like people should just tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that will save your nervous system a whole bunch. If they
and
just
and let me relate to what you just said about the killing thing. And there are men that have gotten their lights and their TV turned off by playing with a woman's emotions. And I'm gonna tell you a situation that stuck with me for a long time. Um, Steve McNair situation. You know, nobody seen that coming. You know what I mean? He
Right.
had a side person or whatever, and then he ended up, having a side piece, and he had a family, and then
Right.
he ended up getting killed. And then the girl turned the gun on herself in that process. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not something that you want to put yourself in, per se. Because, like I say, people not taking their feelings and emotions in 2026. I wouldn't play with a female.
I
2020.
mean, that's literally how I feel too. Like you said, it's like, the reality is sometimes if you tell a person what it is, they might deal with that. You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on, hold
A
on.
person, they might.
Busy, he says, Blessed 38 says, Busy Dick is hilarious. I gotta give some love for that one. Yo,
Sorry, y'all. I
yo.
mean, but it's true because it was busy. It was everywhere. I'm glad that God kept me and I didn't get anything. I'm not gonna lie to you, for real. That's serious. Like, even though I'm laughing about it, it's really terrible. It's really not, like, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't wish nobody to go. My daughter, I have a daughter. I would
Mhm.
never want her to experience the experiences that I've experienced. For
And,
real.
and if you and also the fellas too, because there's some fellas that, man, they was ready to marry her. Come to find out, she had hidden children.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the list goes on, and I think
Yeah. I
where
mean,
we
like, it's the same scenarios though. There's women out here, like you said, that hey, he might think he's the only one and she might got six. You know what I'm saying? She got six. You know what I'm saying? She got six of them.
for real.
It's cool. She might have somebody that flies her out, you know what I'm saying? She can go eat with. That's how the world works. You know what I'm saying? And this man is like, damn, I'm thinking I'm the only one. You're really my person, but you really everybody's person. So I mean, it literally goes both ways.
I gotta ask you this about the gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? Now this is very serious. Like the psychological manipulation, the gaslighting. Can you talk more about that? Enlighten us about what your experience what was and compare it to the last episode that we just had.
The gaslighting is real. Like I said, it's the over excessive of text messages, FaceTimes, coming by seeming like every second that they want to be with you. Like every free moment what are you doing? You want me to come over? Okay. And then you now you're finding yourself making yourself overly available, if that makes sense. Now you're feeling more. I used to feel anxious because I didn't know if he was gonna call. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, I want to hang out. Oh, well, hey, I'm at work, I can't right now. Oh damn, I wish I could really see you. You know what I'm saying? That now and getting text messages back to back. You know what I'm saying? If you get off early, I just want to see you. I just want to spend time with you. I just want to. Okay, cool. So it's like, and then when it pulls back from it, now, like I said, now you're anxious because you don't know what's going on. The routine has changed. You're calling me all the time, you're texting me all the time, you want to see me all the time. Now all of a sudden you're busy. You know what I'm saying? Now you got stuff to do. When I call you, you may have an attitude now because you're at work. Like, any other time you tell me to call you, it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now it's and then when you withdraw from that, like, as in, okay, well, I'm gonna let you be. Okay, now you outside. He outside my apartment waiting hours at a time. He knocking on my window. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, pulling up at my job. If I don't answer the phone, I'm done with it. I don't really want to talk anymore. Let's take a break. No, he's coming. He's coming. Yeah.
Now, now it's funny that you say that. Now, and I know, and that, like I said, the experience of the up and down. I know you kind of lived in that state of confusion, and
Mhm.
sometimes it can out when that love bombing can also be fearful. Um, it's never that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, you're going through. I'm thinking we're good, then we're bad. Now we're good, now we're bad. It's never
Mhm.
that simple. What made it the most difficult for you?
The most difficult for me was he could make me feel so loved at times. And I think that's an addiction. That's what you look for. It's like a drug. You're always trying to get, the same feeling that you got. And I think that's what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew how to shut me down. He did. He knew what to say to me to shut me down. And he also knew what to say to take me right back there. You know what I'm saying? Immediately. So let's say, like how I said, he pick a fight and we're fighting. Okay, then he's going to take 3 days off with me because he hurt my feelings. And now he's in my face. You know what I'm saying? Every day, 3 days. We're inside, we're door dashing. Take these like 3 days off. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's make up and, you know, and then we can go look at rings and that's the love bombing. You know what I'm saying? It's super hard. So it's like, who wouldn't want that? You know what I'm saying? At that time, like who wouldn't a person telling you love you and then who wouldn't desire that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it goes back to the fantasy. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? It's a fantasy holding on to what could be because actions, him doing the stuff he did, picking fights, ripping my clothes and shit, that wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't love. You know what I'm saying? But he would
There's
just
a
be so kind to come back with it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm back in again.
you, Pastor Anthony, said the old saying is misery loves company. But I'm gonna say this too. A lot of times when they do that, it's like they orchestrate it to the T to where they start this problem with you, right? But it's only to see if I was taking care of my business away from you, I start the argument so I could get close to you to see if you've done anything. So it's like they're in watchful eye of you from a distance to create the argument and then come back to you to see if she's acting funny, to see if I try to go in for a hug, is she gonna act different? Because let me tell you what they do. They read a lot of literature. They listen to a lot of different things, what to look for as far as it being a problem in a relationship, and they try to use those same tactics, those manipulation tactics to see where you are mentally, where you are emotionally. And that's how they attack you. They make it seem like, oh, it was just me, and you know how I am. I just,
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm just, I love you. When it come to you, I don't play. And
Right.
all the
Oh
while,
yeah. That's the favorite line right there. You know I don't play about you. Oh yeah. That's the favorite line right there. You know I don't play about you. You know I'm not gonna play about you. Like, but you could play with me though.
yeah, you playing on your emotions, playing on your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And and I can say this because when I talk to a lot of people, and even me going through a relationship, and I can use my experience, a lot of the times people thought, or I would rather say she thought, and other people have thought that too, oh, you're trying to do this because of this, that, and the third. I'm like, why come I can't help people? Why come I can't be honest? How come I can't bring a different element to the table? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We see this gender war going on right now where everybody's talking about each other.
Mhm.
Everybody has a problem, but nobody has a solution. So now I finally step up, talk about these things to educate people, to make sure that they are aware, self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Aware with other things that can happen. Families manipulate too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There have
Oh
been
yeah, yeah.
people that'll go through that. And now you finally get a solution. Now you still have a problem. Well, then go ahead about your business and scroll up. We don't need you here because we, at the end of the day, we trying to heal. We trying to move forward in life.
Mhm.
Black culture needs
Right.
progression. We always talk about the problems, but where are the goddamn solutions?
Mm, that's so true. That's
But
so true.
it gets frustrating at times. You know what I'm saying? But now I want to say this. Now, most people say this, and people got their opinions and this and that and the third. And you've heard people say this. And I asked this last question on the last episode. Shout out to Cassie. For so many people on the outside, the question is, why didn't you just leave? And it's never that simple. What do
Mm.
you say to those?
You know what? I get that question a lot. I have gotten it a lot. And like you said, it's easier said than done. And what I mean by that is when you're a person that is so giving and loving and kind, and you dealt with, okay, did it cut out? So people always ask that question, like you said that again.
I want to say this to y'all out there. She's sharing a story, and the story is serious because a lot of people don't have an outlet to speak about these things in form and truth. And I think where we are in our society, like I said, we focus on so many problems. We've got so many podcasts that talk about things that aren't relevant to the culture right now and how we can look out for certain things. And it's all about a power dynamic. That's what it's about. But I feel like we have a space to where we can have solutions with each other. You know what I'm saying? Not just pointing the finger saying that she's a problem, not just pointing the finger and saying he's a problem, but we can actually learn ourselves, educate ourselves on certain things and flaws that we come, because we're all flawed. We're not
Right.
perfect on this earth. And I think if we can get to that point and she's back up, we can actually solve problems. Now, Aaliyah, you see, when we start getting to the nitty gritty of things, you two want to act crazy, right?
I know.
See?
I
So
know.
that difficult part, I asked Cassie that. Tell us the same thing. Most people gonna say, "Why didn't you leave?" But I want you to explain in your own terms, in your own way of how you left.
Honestly, I want to say why I didn't leave is because I was holding on to the idea of what could be. I wanted to believe that I could change him and I could heal him. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have choices in life and you have to choose to want to change. Some people say this is how I am. That means they don't want to change. And that's his personality. This is how I am. And I just wanted to believe that I could change him, you know what I'm saying, into a better person. Not even for me, just period, just like a better person, period. But the reality is I couldn't do that. I wanted to believe that. So that just allowed me to keep coming back to the situation again and again. When a person's telling you, okay, because he hit me with he want to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to therapy with you. We're not even married. Okay, cool. You want to go to therapy? That never happened. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, we can go to church together. That never happened. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like they know what to say to you too when they know that you want to be done and walk away. Even to the point where I begged him, like, can you just please leave me alone? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to.
It's funny you say that. The devil doesn't want you to tell your story because it's going to help a lot of people, male and female. Absolutely. And that's what these difficult that we had, but we back on. I'm going to say this. A lot of times, and I'm going to give the male perspective, and I know most people going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? From a male perspective, a lot of times men know when it's over. And even in the consistency of them doing it over and over, they're going to grasp at straws, anything to pull you back in. Now, here's the flip side of it. Most of the time, and let me ask you this question. Did he want to win the argument by any means?
Every time. It was never his fault. Not no zero. Not even finito. Half a time. Never. Never his fault. It's never his fault. He does it everything. Even you know what? What sucks? I had to sit back and check myself. It's like, why every time I tell this man how I feel, it turns into an argument. He's not hearing me. You get what I'm saying? But I'm treating him like a child almost, like how I treated some of my, the doula clients that I had for the postpartum. I'm treating him like them. Like he just had a baby. I'm babying him. You know, okay, how do you feel today? You know what I'm saying? What makes you upset? How can I help you? I don't get that back. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you that, okay, you hurt my feelings, you upset me. That wasn't nice what you did. He's trying to defend himself. I'm talking about every time. It's a defense now. He's trying to figure out what I could see. You could almost see a person look like their brain is going. You can see he trying to figure out ways how to defend himself. You don't need to defend yourself. I'm telling you how I feel so that you can correct that behavior and we can move forward and have health. communication. But instead, you're trying to figure out, you're being defensive and you're trying to figure out how to defend yourself.
And let me say this, in that when I brought that up, my question is, did he dress nice? Did he always be from head to toe nice, clean cut and everything? Was he always on point?
Yeah, he was at first, but then ugh. I want to say this. Okay, so he did dress nice and clean, but I mean, I guess there was times when he transitioned. So like if he came over at night, obviously he's wearing like pajamas. You know what I'm saying? He's not dressed nice at that point.
Yeah.
He's trying to take the pajamas off. No, seriously. But from that point, it's like, I mean, he
wanna
likes to have nice things. I don't know. It was kind of like he was in competition with me, though. I never had that either. That was different for me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just was a different type of guy. Like I said, I usually date people that hustle, so they already have nice stuff. They're not trying to show you that they have. That's just how they move. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was trying to one up me all the time, which was kind of strange. Because I have a nice car and I live in a nice place. I have nice stuff. And I felt like it was always like a one up, like trying to, you know what I'm saying, do something that's better.
That's one of the most difficult things that I try to tell a lot of brothers. If you're not comfortable, don't try to psych yourself out to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you're gonna wreck your mental and you're gonna wreck your nervous system, stressing out because you're trying to, like I say, not necessarily compete, but you're going into a situation to where you're like, oh, I gotta come up with this, I gotta come up with that. And now it becomes that. And I wanted to introduce a term to everybody so that they can understand about that victory thing. That Pyrrhic victory, a win that comes at such a devastating cost to the victor that it functionally equivalent to a defeat. And I'm gonna show you. A lot of times and I'm saying the ego, I tell people it's not an ego, it's how we go. A lot of times brothers and sisters want to win an argument so much to the point it devastates and destroys the relationship. And let me tell you something. Women that are emotional, they wear their emotions in their facial expressions, and it could wear them down. And a person that has sociopathic tendencies and a narcissist does not recognize that. They don't. They'll think that when you ask them something, you'll put on a fake face and a fake front and smile, knowing that you're like, oh my God, I'm just gonna agree with him because I do not want to argue. I
I
just want to just
know,
go
that's
with the flow.
so true. I swear. I did it all the time. And
Yeah.
that's what really made me, besides, like you said, the last straw was the hitting situation. But what made me check out, like you said, is like, it's like at this point, I'm just being quiet. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking. And then at some point, sometimes now you're mad because you're like, you're not saying anything. And it's like, because when I do, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now it's an argument when I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, a lot of times just so it could be cool, I won't say anything. I would just be quiet. Like, oh, okay.
You're keeping the peace at the cost of the relationship, and the more that you go through this and day by day it's wearing you out
Okay.
emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Now, I wanted to say, what was that final straw that you just said, you know what, like no more, and then from there, no, I can't do it.
Like I said, him putting his hands on me, and I just feel like I was experiencing things that I shouldn't experience when you're dating a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to court with this man, file charges for girls harassing him, for him messing with them and him getting caught. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I'm doing marital stuff at this point. It's like we're talking about therapy together because you traumatized my nervous system. You know what I'm saying? Like, eh, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I had to really sit back and reflect. I was losing weight, excessive weight. I'm already small. I was losing excessive weight. For once in my life, my hair was not growing. My skin was breaking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just randomly crying at times. When I separated from him, I was feeling anxious. You know what I'm saying? And anxiety and nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like I just realized I'm like, you're a mess.
And you have to put on a strong face for your kids too. So I like the last episode. You don't understand, and I'm telling the men and females that understand this because it's men that go through this too.
Oh
You don't
yeah.
understand the emotional barrier that you have to cut all of that emotion off and then still tend to your kids. Cut that emotion off. Make sure that they're well fed. Cut those emotion off. Give those children the love when you were actually pouring into this person, trying to get them to see that it's all genuine and all good here. There is a lot of psychological damage that happens over time to where I'm giving, seems like 99% over here, 1% to my kids. Or
Oh
I'm
yeah,
giving,
yeah.
oh
Yeah,
man.
my daughter is 4 and she, like you said, the last straw between the situation with that and then him trying to talk to me again and coming banging on my door, my daughter saying, and she, like I said, she's 4. I don't want him to come here anymore. Like, reality check. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like it sucks and that's not really what people want to hear, but it's like, you mess with my daughter is looking with the big eyes and she's frightened and doesn't know if we're gonna, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not cool.
I think where we're hitting home with is, like I say, from the last episode to this episode, we're seeing patterns. And like I say, your walk of life is different from hers, but what we're seeing is the same continuous behavior within our culture and being able to identify it and to call it out. Because I don't think no woman should go through that. I don't think no man should go through that.
Right.
Whether it's in a relationship, you courting each other, or even marriage. I think there's a point to where you have to be self-aware when you have these problems to address them. And this, some people are not like what I'm about to say. And this is for you to guard yourself, men to guard themselves, women to guard themselves, to understand. Some people are defective and it's inevitable for them unless they sit down and say something is wrong. They are never going to fix themselves. And some people are naturally defective, meaning no matter what you do. And I said this is a beautiful tragedy. Some people, there's no such thing as a beautiful tragedy, but no matter what you do to try to help them financially, emotionally, be their support, they are on a suicide mission and a collision course with just being destroyed. You
Right.
can't do nothing about that. And I think a lot of times people hide that so well to where after 90 days, 6 months you're in, 7 months, 10 months, 12 months you're in, it's like, well, I got them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna change anything. So this is me. Like you say, this is me. But
Yeah.
what if the you sucks? What if the you actually sucks and you can actually tell them? Because guess what? I'm sleeping with you, next to you. I'm with you all the time. I can identify your behaviors. I can see what the flaws and the nuances are. Why would I not be able to tell you who you are? You got to talk to someone else for you to be understood, right?
Right.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I honestly told him, like I said, I'm like, I just feel like maybe you never had anything authentic. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak because I know he was married before and that didn't work. Um, but a part of it, like you said, is not wanting to take an accountability that you need to change. You know what I'm saying? And wondering why your life is so hard and you keep having the same experiences again and again. And it's like because you're choosing not to change. So you're choosing to continuously have the same experiences. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I want a better experience. And it's not going to be that one. And I feel like, sometimes it's our childhood stuff that we haven't healed and we carry it as adults. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking for that thing that we missed from our childhood. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I feel like that stems back, like I feel like he had mommy issues. At his age, once me and him parted ways, his mom moved in with him. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he got mommy issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he will continuously have that stuff with women until he heals that part of him. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And that goes back to women too, like you said, women too, when they have issues and they didn't grow up with a dad or, however that dynamic is, it could be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for something from that man because you didn't get that, you know what I'm saying, in your childhood. You didn't have the daddy part. So it really goes both ways. But you have to choose to want to heal that though. You know what I'm saying? It's
Absolutely.
bottom line.
Now, getting out was such a mental, you know what I'm saying? It was a monumental act of bravery. But as you said, that's just the beginning of the journey. What was the immediate aftermath like, especially when you was in the process of healing?
It was crying all the time. It was not eating, sleeping days at a time. It was questioning, why am I worried about what he's doing when I know he's not good for me? You know what I'm saying? Or just like anxious of like, what if I see, because we live in a small place, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, this place isn't that big. I could run into him anywhere. So it was that too, like, okay, how am I gonna feel when I see him? What if I see him with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you care if you see him with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? It's like nonstop. You know what I'm saying? You almost want to shut your brain off. But it was a lot of that. And like I said, I had to let it go. I just had to wake up straight up.
Your nervous system was shot.
It was shot.
Yeah.
It was kaboom. It was exploded. It was no good. It was really no good at all. Yeah. But like I said, prayer, yoga, meditation, community, other people around me. I also I read a book that was really well. I bits and pieces of it, and I took her class, Queen of Fua. I read Sacred Woman. That was good.
Mhm.
That's a lot of literature to read, but that does help. You know what I'm saying? She helped Lauren London, Erica Badu, a couple other people that are really known heal. Um, so just like tapping into, positive energy and even reading and resources. You know what I'm saying? I feel like will help you heal if you can't afford therapy or if you didn't want to go to therapy. There's other ways that you could do it, but I was searching for it. You know what I'm saying? I was eager for I didn't that feeling to go away. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to feel like this ever again. I don't want to feel like this again. So it was a search for how do I change from feeling like this.
And to piggyback off what you said for those books, I tell anybody if you ever get a chance, please, this book right here, it's The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. This is one heck of a book. I love this book. One of the best books and one of the best reads I've ever had. Also, the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. This was a great read too. This was an awesome read, and I tell anybody if you get a chance, read Shiraza Ali. She is one of the most interesting and one of the most caring writers of our time. And I believe that every family should have these both books to understand where we've come from and to understand where we are and where we're trying to go and where we're trying to grow. So I tell anybody, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to all of those that are trying to heal. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a beautiful thing. Now, I want to say this in the aftermath of everything, man. I have to to what I'm saying, definitely tip my hat off to you. And in conclusion, I want to say this: your journey's been incredible and powerful. You've taken us from the very beginning through the escalation into the turning point until now to this place of healing of where you are now. It seems like you're at peace. You're glowing. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Gratitude.
you know what I'm saying? So first, what is your message to someone who might be in these similar situations and watching and feeling trapped?
I would say choose yourself. Honestly, I would say choose yourself. I mean, that's my best advice to you. Pick yourself and choose yourself as much as you chose the situation that wasn't for you. You know, it's hard. You got to take it a day at a time, but be gentle and be kind to yourself, and if you're not on a spiritual journey and you don't pray, find something that gives you the courage and the strength to choose you. I would always say choose you.
Now, and also finally, what do you want people to understand about survivorship? Because you are a survivor.
Um, Honestly, I mean, that wasn't my only domestic violence situation that I ever had. So I would honestly say is like I said, when people show you who they are, believe them. It's okay to want to help people, but not when they don't want to help themselves. It's going to continue to go to a dead end. Um, Pick the experiences that you want to experience and write your own story.
And I want to say this to you. Never change who you are. You know what I'm saying? I always want people, and I tell people I want them to change for the better, but never change who you are because you'll miss out on your soulmate. And I commend anybody, any man, any female that have been through these emotional roller coasters, that have been through physical abuse, that have been through all of these things and still want to find love. I feel like those are God's unique people.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have been through the biggest trials and tribulations, and you ask God, why? What am I doing? Do I need to change? What is it? Just show me a way and a path. And I think you guys are the ones that are not just preparing for love, but also preparing to teach others that go through these experiences to them to what to look for, what not to accept, what
Right.
to reject, what to expect, and then also to set that foundation of respect with amongst your significant other. So I have to tip my hat off into you. And like I say, man, you, Cassie, my next guest is coming on that are coming forward. It takes a lot of gut. It takes a lot of mental, you know what I'm saying, power to be able to tell the world exactly what your experience is. And my hat goes off to y'all. And also tell them also one more time where they can find you at, and then also let them know your Instagram handle, your TikTok handle, and everything else too.
Okay.
Let them know.
I don't get on TikTok, but my Instagram is _ Leah. And I do have Facebook. My Facebook is Peace and Light Aaliyah. And that's all I have right now. I don't have
Listen, man, it's been a pleasure having you on and basically being able to talk about these things. You've enlightened us. You've actually enlightened me, educated me on things, what to look for, what, you know what I'm saying, to expect. And also as far as the foundation of respect, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely tip my hat off to you and thank you for joining me. Listen to me, y'all. Aaliyah on the
pleasure.
check-in. For real, for real, for real. And I expect you to be on the show again. Listen to me. I want to hear updates. I want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I want to know your wins. I also want to know, you know, what's going on in your world. If you got any events or anything coming up, man, by all means, share them because this is the platform that I built, you know what I'm saying, for us to be open and be able to have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Y'all, it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure tonight, man. I thank y'all for joining me tonight, man. It was a huge, huge success to me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank all of y'all for joining me on tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come in, join, and let's have the conversation begin. And you can also comment down below. Well, we've come to the end. So tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we definitely gonna yap about it. But before we go, I want to throw out a positive two songs. You know what I'm saying? The first one, definitely by Asteroid, is the name of the song is Saturn. Definitely H-Town Homegrown. And then I also got another one that you can add to your playlist. It's called Still Us by Lou Alcindor. Dallas is on the way. He's in Houston, but he's by the way of H-Town. Oak Cliff, you know what I'm saying? Definitely D-Town on the tap in, you know what I'm saying? So y'all definitely tune in. These songs, we going out. But without further ado, Asteroid, take us out. We out.
Sorry. You're not blonde enough.
If I could take you to Saturn, I'd introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. I only need you for the sour, cause I wanna party with you in the San Valentine. Please carry on. I feel like everybody's rolling off of something, hoping that dysfunction. Bodies glisten glisten all over the floor. DJ, the way she hit that replay, make someone for easy. Body language, speaking fluency, freeze frame. I let it fly if it's a free thing. Tap to the slime, hoping you can reach me. It's coffee beans in the morning, it's a sweet thing. I hear it's not I would introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. And we do it for the sour. If I wanna party with you and it's infinite time, please carry on.
I feel like everybody's rolling off of something, bumping at this function, bodies glisten all over the floor. DJ, the way she hits that replay, the maximum flow easy, got me out here speaking fluency.
In a world that's social media driven, it seems that love is taken for granted.
No.
I'm just glad that we've been able to survive and weather the storm. And there's nobody I'd rather be on this journey with. Us. We.
Still the one I'm fucking. You still the one I'm loving. You still the one about you a hater could tell me nothing. Still the one I need. Woman of my dreams. Still the one I'm bringing the minute that I succeed. Cause for me, I know you ride. Your every need I'll provide. Forever shit on my mind. Forever our souls are tied. I really just think it's time. We sit and we pick a time for shit that's been on our mind. Forever you'll be my spine, right? At first shit had got rocky with the outside chatter. We blocked it out and kept it moving. That shit don't even matter. You threw that pussy, I knocked it out. Now I'm the only batter. And I'm so glad it happened. For real. Rubbing you, touching you, giving you life. Thug in the house, you can sleep through the night. Family good, all the kids are alright. Arguments happen, I'm making it right. Buy you a present, put you on a flight. Didn't get married, but call you the wife. Smiling and happy, you loving your life. Them hoes, they hating, it's all out of spite. You the one that took me from my old ways. I'm just trying to be with you the old age. You my lover friend and my homemade, my only, yeah, still.
Hey, I'm on my way to the house. Be ready and have your bags packed. We're getting ready to get out of here.
Ceremony, holy matrimony, how they want it. Shit real, nothing phony, how we own it. Not condoning or tolerate nothing when it come to my baby. Still my lady, life is crazy, you're amazing. Glad we made it and God gave me somewhere to share something that's finally real. And you know I'm gonna hold you down from right now until permanent contract, it's no way I'm letting you out of the deal. And everything I said from day one live inside of me still. You the one that took me from my old ways. I'm just trying to be with you the old age. You my lover friend and my homemade, my only, yeah, still.